What's going on, world? Welcome to the very first episode of my poker blog. What I'm going to do is take you on a trip that I took to North Carolina, where I played in the World Series of Poker event number 2, 500,000 guaranteed. First hand of the tournament, well, not the first hand. At this point, we've been playing for a few hours. We started with 15,000 in starting chips. Blinds are currently 100, 200, 200. Under the gun, 1 elects to raise to 700. Under the gun, 2 calls. We actually call as well on a dealer button with 10-7 of spades. Small blind calls to 700. Big blind actually raises to 3,200. So after he raises to 3,200, everyone actually calls. So under the gun, 1, 2, plus me and the small blind. We're going 5 ways to a flop. Pot is currently at 16,000. The flop comes ace of spades, 8 of spades, and 4 hearts. So we actually flop pretty decent for our hand. Small blind checks, big blind raises to 16,000. Under the gun, 1 folds. Under the gun, 2 folds, and it's on us. At this point, the big blind left itself pretty much about another 10 or 12,000 in chips. We'll elect to go all in. He, of course, calls. We're up against pocket jacks. The turn is actually a 10 and the river's a 7. So we were chasing the flush draw. I actually got there. 2 pair to take it down. Last hand right before break. Blinds are actually still 100, 200, 200. I'm in a small blind. Middle position player actually limps into the pot. Hijack limps along. We call, of course, for half price. So we got 3-5 of spades in the small blind. Big blind checks. Flop comes down. The flop is 4 spade, ace of spade, 9 of hearts. It checks all the way around. The turn card actually is the 2 of spade. So we flopped a straight flush draw, turned the straight flush. So at this point, the only thing we're doing is looking to set a trap and try to make it look like we're gonna steal. So we're gonna stick with that plan. After I check, middle position, big blind actually checks as well. Middle position checks. The actual hijack bets 1,000. Still sticking with the same game plan. We go ahead, call 1,000. Big blind gets out the way. Middle position costs 1,000. Now the interesting card hit on the river is actually the 9 of spades. So now it's 4 to a flush out on the board. We're still setting the trap to see what we can get out of this pot. After I check, middle position checks as well. The hijack only bets another 1,000. So at this point, we're gonna make it look like we're trying to steal, just like the original plan. We go ahead and just go all in on the board. There's a couple different cards out there that we looking to actually trap with. Any king high straight flush. I mean, not straight flush. Any king high flush, queen high flush. Also, any possible boats. I'm gonna let you see how this play out. We got video.
Trey flush.
Wow.
All right, next biggest hand to note, we continued to grind up throughout the tournament. We had a few hits and misses here and there, but we're still doing great in the tournament. Blinds are currently 4, 8, and 8. I'm actually on, blinds are 4, 8, and 8. I'm in a big blind. Under the gun, 1 limps. So this middle position, hijack, and the dealer button all limp. But surprisingly, the small blind folds. I wake up in a big blind with pocket kings. Go ahead and raise it up to 3,100. Middle position folds, hijack, and the dealer button actually make the call. So we're going 3 ways to a flop. Pot's over 12,000 right now. The flop comes out 10 of diamond, 7 of hearts, 5 of clubs. I go ahead and bet 7,000 at this point. The hijack and the dealer both make the call. So we're going to a turn, which is another 7. So at this point, it's 33,000 actually in the pot. We bet 10,000. So the hijack and the dealer button go ahead and make the call. So at this point, I'm looking at, possibly pairs in their hand, maybe a 10, maybe even a flush draw. Because on the flop, it was actually a 10 and 2 hearts. So the 7 of hearts and the 5 of hearts. River's actually another 7. So at this point, I don't see anything that's pretty much beating us, but still want to get a call as well. So I'll go ahead and bet another 10,000. The hijack makes the call and the dealer button folds. So come to find out, we're up against ace 10 and we end up taking it down with the pocket kings. All right, so the next hand we want to go ahead and talk about, it was later in the tournament. We pretty much been handcuffed for a little while. Player to our right went all in bluffing, and the player to our direct left called. Now he's sitting at over $600,000 in chips and defending just about anything. So we're avoiding them for the most part, not trying to get tangled up too much at this point. We're looking to just go ahead and bag so we can move on to day 2 so we can make some real money. With that being said, we wake up in a big blind. We have 5-6 suited. Middle position player goes ahead and raises to 7,500. Blinds are currently at 1,000, 2,500, 2,500. We go ahead and complete for another 5,000. Everyone else folds, so we're going heads up to the flop, which is 5-6 jack. Now, so at this point, we flop 2 pair. We're gonna let him bury itself and reevaluate on later streets. He go ahead and he down bets 5,000 after we check to him. We go ahead and call the 5,000. The actual turn is 4. Now on this 4, we still stick with the same game plan. Didn't change anything for us. We go ahead and check it. He elects to bet 13,000 at this point. So now that we pretty much have him hooked, we're gonna go ahead and start bumping up the pot. We raise to 30,000. Thinks about it for a while, but go ahead and makes the call. The river's a deuce. We don't want to run the risk of getting anything checked back, so we go ahead and bet another 35,000. He makes the call, but doesn't show his hand. Got video.
Two pair. That's it. Six, 2, 4, jack. 5, 6, 2. What was that? 5, 6.
Your new table, your new seat on the bag. In the bag is your chips, along with the yellow copy, white.
Yep. Keep the pink. You keep the pink. Yellow goes in your bag. You already gave the white to me. So we're good there. So am I supposed to sit?
One of these damn buttons is gonna work. Ready to go to the room now. All right, so just completed day 1. We're gonna do it again on Sunday. Let's go. So if you made it this far, you see we went on ahead and bagged. We're moving on to day 2. Make sure you check that out. It's gonna be uploaded onto the page shortly. I appreciate you watching this long, but as always, make sure you like, subscribe, help the channel grow. And shout out to all the poker players out here playing and grinding these tournaments. It's extremely hard. Me myself, I like the fast cash and the pace of the cash game, being able to pick up what I win and get on, but it's a different experience, and it's just a different experience altogether for me. It allows me to travel with my family, take it easy for the most part. It's stressful with no reward to me up front, but in the end, you're looking for that big score. So continue to watch me on this grind.